I'll go ahead and share the links.
Awesome. It'll start going in a bit.
Oh, and wait, are you...
We're live now.
Okay.
So yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to the stream. If you're wondering, I got heckin' bamboozled by YouTube, and I thought my stream was not happening, but it was. So yeah, my friend Navarro is here. So if you want to say hi, introduce yourself.
No, I don't. Go to hell.
Okay, sounds good to me. Yeah. So...
Hi, I'm Navarro. I exist. I try to conlang, but end up hating everything I do 10 seconds after I make it.
Same here.
That's a pretty accurate description of me as a person.
Yes, and right now I am going to, I'm just going to open up the document because we're going to take a look at what I've done. In the meantime, but between me getting bamboozled by YouTube and now, I've included a bit of work on stuff. I'm just wondering, have you ever done stuff with, like, feature descriptions? Like, I'll show you what I mean. Like, I guess, like, or actually, let me just link you to it because I have a document that explains it. And I realize you're on a big delay here. It's in the stream channel.
One sec, I'm advertising you.
Excellent, thank you. We need this.
And then over in this channel, go to linguistics.
What keyboard have you got?
What?
What keyboard have you got?
What do you mean keyword?
I'm just saying, I hear you typing, and I mean, like, you sound almost as loud as me, which is great.
Oh, no, I just have a normal membrane keyboard. It's just what came with this computer. It's not any type of mechanical keyboard, sadly.
Okay, no, because actually, that sounded pretty loud. I was surprised.
Yeah, I remember, back when we were on, the Conlang subreddit server, Discord server, people would constantly ask me if I had a mechanical keyboard.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I guess I'm the big mech guy, so I have to ask every single time I hear something.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, no, because I'm going on my Unicomp Ultra Classic, which is basically a modern IBM Model M, so it's loud as hell. Sorry for everyone who's listening to the stream. When I type, you're gonna hear me. You're gonna hear some gunfire.
Ooh, I see objectives. I'm automatically interested.
Yeah, so I guess I'm going back to the whole Stiie project. I mean, I guess I don't know if I'm gonna be part of like the Revive Cornelia or anything, but I just wanted to evolve some languages and put them in Con World again. But yeah, this is what I'm working on right now. So yeah, there are adjectives, and there are affricate. So there are adjective affricates. I love adjective affricates.
Ooh.
In fact, I was debating including an adjective lateral affricate since I have the lateral.
Nice.
Yeah.
Shit. Never mind. Keep going.
Yeah. So I guess if you take a look at the document I linked you, I don't know if you saw that. It's in the stream channel.
Yeah, one second, let me get to it. Stream, there we go. Okay, let me go take a look at it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up too, actually. But this is actually a document that I actually took in my phonology class. I received in my phonology class, and it explains, like, kind of... So you know how, like, I'm sure you've written phonological rules before for your languages?
Yeah.
And, like, a lot of times you put individual sounds, like, for example, like, T becomes the alveolar, like, yeah, the alveolar stop becomes alveolar flap in this environment, etc. I mean, the way that we were taught to write phonological rules was through these different plus or minus features, that everything's a binary feature, and you describe things, like, in terms of those features. So yeah, I'm going to be writing a lot of phonological rules this way. I'm not sure how familiar you are with this, but yeah, like using basically the same notation, but instead of like phonemes or defining class opponent, just use these features.
But yeah, I was just helping record a linguistics podcast with a few other people.
Oh wait, what's the podcast?
We only have like one episode out right now. This is like we just finished recording the second episode, but it's with a few people from. I mean, I'm not sure if I should say like the names of like servers and shit.
Oh, I mean, I don't. Like, you mean just for privacy reasons, or I mean, you can suggest anything on the server if it's calling related.
I can say things to you. I just don't know if I can.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Cool. We can just talk about it later. So yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Sorry, I should quick finish eating.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw I guess I have a gender system with like 6 grammatical genders.
Oh damn. Oh, but Sorry. Continue.
Yeah. I don't know, because in most of my languages I didn't have any sort of grammatical gender, so I decided, I'll overcompensate for once.
Yeah. One of the things we were talking about, actually after the recording, was what one of our next topics was going to be, and we were talking about weird gender systems, and so where is it? Slave. Which is spelled as if it was pronounced slavey.
Oh yeah, I think I know.
It's got some weird. Let me look.
Yeah, I think I know which language you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Athabascan, right?
Mm-hmm. It's got like unmarked, animate, and it's got an unmarked gender, animate gender, and a vegetative gender, which is basically just plants or plant matter. So Slave essentially literally has an animal, vegetable, or mineral gender system.
Information, animal, vegetable, mineral. That's excellent. Yeah, no, mine is a little bit crazier.
Ooh, I'm interested.
So yeah, I have 6 categories. So I have familiar humans, which is going to be mostly kinship terms and people that others would be familiar with, including like prolific roles, like I guess like leaders, I think.
Celebrities.
Yeah, celebrities, I guess, or but I mean I'm not entirely sure if like there will be any interplay with like proper names and things like that. I haven't decided that yet. But then there's also unfamiliar humans, which includes like the names of other nationalities, other groups of humans. I guess it's not the best description of unfamiliar humans because you definitely use certain like but I mean it's just a general class, and they're somewhat semantically motivated, but not entirely. Then you have animals and any sort of non-sentient supernatural entities. I actually had this weird idea for a like a trickster being. That like you're familiar with cougars, right? And like the noise they make.
Oh yeah, cougars. They make weird noises.
Yeah, they basically when they scream, they sound like a woman being brutally murdered.
Yeah.
So basically, I actually have a creature that's basically it's like a trickster, and it shows up as a cougar and it tries to attack you. But if you kill it, it turns into a woman, and you basically like it looks like you killed someone.
Ooh.
And it's like, I'm not entirely sure. That's just kind of something I was spitballing. I'm not sure if part of that, but there's like non-sentient supernatural entities that go under group 3. Then group 4 is transient natural phenomena, and then sentient supernatural entities. So I guess I don't know if I'll have any sort of like demons or angels or, but things like, I guess, like earthquakes, storms, rainbows, those would probably go under group 4, at least semantically. Then group 5 is like stationary natural phenomena, plants, and other living things. I guess minerals would also go under there. But things like mountains, trees, etc. And then group 6 is like human-made structures and objects and any sort of technology.
Okay.
So yeah, I decided,
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty like well motivated, and I think I have arguments for like, especially for example, I will have several different words for fire. It's like one thing. It's like, so I guess like I will have one that goes under class 4, which is going to be for wildfires, forest fires, etc. And another one is group 6, which is like a human-made fire.
That's actually a really interesting distinction.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's actually like a really, like it's a really, like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's very common cross-linguistically. But I just thought of it off the top of my head, and I thought, oh, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. Yeah, I just realized you're going to be like kind of delayed with the, I assume you're watching the stream right now, right?
I mean, I have it open, but like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, no, I just realized, because I just have this stuff here, but yeah, I guess my vowel inventory is just 6 vowels. I'm just saved the interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saving the interesting stuff for the Dauerlangs, but like if you notice I had a series of labiovelars.
Yeah.
That's gonna make the fun things happen.
Ooh. I'm interested.
Yeah, yeah, I guess I also have like a tone system, but it also correlates with certain articulatory features. Like high tone with breathy voice, low tone with creaky voice, mid tone with modal voice. And that's gonna change into like a different type of tone system I've come up with. I guess I'll scroll down so you can see them. I guess I'm trying to figure out what to do with like how to change these roots up.
Oh, we have actually, what should I refer to you by?
Oh, just Brain or Brain Force or Brandon. I don't know.
So Brainiac.
There we go.
We have our first question from a watcher.
Oh, yay!
If you will scroll down back to your gender system.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see from Josh or
Temmie.
Oh, Temmie. Okay, Temmie, yeah. So I guess I didn't actually arrange them on an animacy hierarchy. I just kind of came up with the categories as it is. It's not on a hierarchy or anything. It's just how I put it. So I guess that explains it. That wasn't what I was thinking of doing. So let me return. I guess I'm just going to number them as is. It's just really how I'm going to number them is the important thing. So actually, I should include, like, for some of the roots here, what class they go in, like what gender they go in, and I'll probably create a new table, like, or a new column to the table.
Bugwe.
Yeah.
Dekos. Fodap. Kadom. Hitch. Mitch. Is Enkaran or
that's palatable.
Okay. Nyok. Yes, walk and quad.
Yeah. So actually, one of the interesting things, and one of the first ones, which is gift given to a child. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you're familiar with like Proto-Indo-European culture and how there's this concept of reciprocal gift giving.
Yeah.
Stiie culture doesn't have that. They think the gift should only go from those who can provide to those who need, and it should never go the other way. I mean, if you put it the other way back, it's a little weird. And in some contexts, it can even be seen as rude.
Wait. So there's no concept of giving a gift to someone who doesn't need it, I guess?
Yeah, like basically, you don't give gifts to someone who's higher in stature, which is really kind of interesting, I'd say. It's like, for example, like, you wouldn't expect the child to get, like, I guess, like, you wouldn't expect the child to give a gift to, like, an adult, which is, I guess it's fine, but there's a general consensus
unless
that,
it's
like,
Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's like, but even still, like, for example, thinking like Christmas, but yeah, Mother's Day is a good exception to this. But like Christmas, you don't usually expect children maybe to give gifts. Generally, reciprocal gift giving, I mean, it does happen. It's not like taboo or anything. It's just not how people conceive gifts. And this is kind of actually something I've drawn from personal experience. But, like from people who I've talked to who they feel that way.
So what you're telling me is the Stiie culture is communist.
Basically, yes. damn socialists taking over their own country. Oh wait, they are their own country. Never mind. Yeah, so I have a few extra roots here, but I'm just trying to get things where a lot of things will, especially those velar fricatives, are probably going to end up debuccalizing or lengthening vowels or altering them in some way. So I've got some other stuff that I want to work with, and hopefully, so I'm going to go up to the constant inventory again.
Ngog, Nwekta. That's an interesting word, Nwekta.
Yeah.
Stiege. Whatever else. I am very much in support of having gamma tilde velar approximant and rounded gamma tilde W.
Wait, gamma tilde velar approximant?
Yes, I 100% love that shit.
Yeah, no, I think because it's, especially, people tend to, if you notice on the IPA, there's no distinction between a voiced uvular fricative and a uvular approximant. Kind of, I think I noticed, I'm not entirely sure on this because I haven't fully studied this, but I've noticed, when you have, voiced fricatives in the back of your mouth, they're going to have less of a fricative quality to them and more of an approximate quality.
Mm-hmm.
So I think having a free variation is pretty reasonable. In fact, I just realized instead of having gamma with a W superscript, I could just have W. But for consistency reason, I mean, this looks nice right here. Just how there's a series and then there's a series with little superscript W's. But yeah, I'm not sure. In a way, when I look at this, I feel like I'm ripping off Proto-Indo-European, if you know what I mean. With the stops.
Oh, it says live stream offline.
Wait, what? Okay.
Yeah, it says you stopped.
I didn't stop streaming. This is crazy. See, this happens. I don't know if my
Oh, there we go.
Awesome. Okay, we're back. Yeah, sorry about. I guess I don't know if it's my connection or something. Maybe I just don't have that good of a connection. So. Yeah.
Okay, you're back on though. You're back on. It's
Excellent.
Just stopped. It seems like.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here, but so I guess I'm showing you this stuff. But I'm thinking of what should I be working on right here because I've got a whole bunch of things that need work.
Are you trying to focus more on one area, or are you asking me which area you want to...
So I guess the problem with, in my case is, since I've never really finished a project before, and this is, I want to,
big same.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is really common. Well, nobody really finishes a project in common. You only can add more to what you do. But I need to do this in, a way where I can get this up to a usable state. My goal is to be able to, translate some stuff. Do some really basic translations, and then maybe from there move forward. But I kind of... Let me see. I don't know why this is happening. There's every time I seem to get these big spaces between whole pages getting inserted. I don't know what's going on. People, I think a lot of conlangers, especially the ones who are big into LaTeX, are going to be use LaTeX, use LaTeX.
See, I always just pronounced it as latex.
See, this is just weird. I don't know what's going on here, but whatever. Yeah, I guess this is just going to behave strangely. Yeah, so I kind of just want... So I do want to get some, So, I guess phonology is the easiest stuff to work on, but I do want to work on processes a bit later. I do want to get some morphology in, though. I think that's kind of where things start to fall apart.
Oh, yeah. I think you've got a lot going on in phonology, and you're pretty good. You're pretty set there, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, it's mostly the processes, but I think just if I want to kind of get things set up, the basic things set up, and then use them later. But yeah, I guess noun classes will actually come later because I need to know the phonological processes because that determines how endings behave. And whoops, I didn't want a footer. Yeah, what's going on here? It's just behaving strangely. So let's see. So I will actually try and push to talk because I can't talk with you and type at the same time, which sucks. Your settings. Awesome. I'm just back to voice activity. You can hear me, right? Avaro?
I'm here.
Okay, just making sure because I just changed my voice settings. Cool. Okay. So thinking of doing like a single, dual, plural system. I guess, but there will be changes to that in the future.
Oh, sorry, what? I started zoning out and working on my own conlang.
Oh, oh, okay, yeah. So I'm just thinking of, like, grammatical numbers.
You said single, dual, plural, right?
Yeah, so I'm thinking in one of the daughterlings, I'm gonna alter this. I don't know how realistic dual is for this. Basically, I want the middle category to turn into the plural, and some nouns will only keep the, like, I want to have some fossilized inflections with some nouns keeping the, plural ending, but only certain mass nouns, which I think is kind of interesting. But,
I think that'd be interesting. I think the perfect thing for that, and I was going to say this, but I wanted to let you finish your sentence. Do Pockle, dude.
Okay, yeah, I just changed it actually before you said that. So yeah, I will. I think I'm going to do that. I think it's a better use. And I can say that came from an earlier dual that just kind of changed, and then there was a semantic shift away from that. But yeah. So case.
Right.
So I just realized that there are going to be 5, at least. I think 5 grammatical cases is good because
ergativity makes me fucking nut.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna go to I guess say wait, this is
fetish brain. It's a severe problem. I feel ashamed of myself.
Stop kink shaming yourself. I have no idea. This is just getting crazy. Yeah. Oh,
you're doing Are you doing a tripartite system?
Yeah. That's what I said earlier.
Oh, lit.
Okay, yeah. Dative, I guess, like, I want to say maybe just...
Genitive.
Genitive. I was going to say maybe an oblique case where just, like, it's everything else gets thrown in there.
Well, oblique would pretty much just be, like... I usually see, like, just nominative and then oblique, but then, like...
Oblique can sometimes be used to cover, like, a bunch of different cases, you know? Like, or...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is why I'm going to try to go to oblique. But in some of the daughterlings, there'll be more cases.
Alright.
Yeah, so... Yeah, hopefully I can create endings, I guess, but I'll actually save that for a bit later.
You want something cool that I'm going to start putting in my pretty much all of my conlangs now that I know that it exists?
Sure, what is it?
It's marked on the verb.
Well, I was going to do verb morphology next.
Oh, okay. Andative and venative.
Venative?
Andative and venative. They mark on the verb motion to or away from something.
Can you spell this out for me, like just in the stream chat?
Okay, A-N and then dative.
Okay.
So like dative but with an A-N before it, and then V-E-N-I-tive.
Okay, actually, I think I can recognize this from like my rudimentary Spanish knowledge, where he's come from.
So yeah, in the aforementioned podcast, we were talking about it, because we were, that episode's topic was, marking things on the verb beyond tense, aspect, and mode. And, my main reason for wanting to join in on that episode was because, I had read up, as soon as they mentioned andative and venative, I was like, okay, I absolutely love this. Everyone shut the fuck up, unfollow me right now. This is going to be the only thing I talk about for the next 2 days.
Yeah, I'm going to include that in parentheses because I just want to read up more on that, but that's actually a good idea. I want to include something...
So it gets really cool because in Proto-Polynesian, it has 4 directional particles for verbs. Venative mai, andative atu, and then upwards, which could mean uphill or inland, hake, and then downwards, which is either downhill or seawards, hifo. Now the thing is, at first I thought the uphill inland being the same thing was like a very island centric thing, but no, it's just anything near water in general.
Huh.
And it gets to the point where, like, okay, downtown comes from the fact that New York City is like, or the business district of Manhattan is more towards the river or some shit. And so it became downtown because it's closer to the river rather than up the river. And so that also applies into upstate and downstate New York. Like, that's not just because downstate is where downtown is.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I guess there's a lot of I guess fossilization that can be done with like directional terms.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a great idea. Because I do want to describe, like, I guess I don't know where this would go exactly. I guess maybe in add positions. I probably should just create a new add position.
Also, I feel so successful. I have 2 entirely empty bottles of Dr. Pepper, like 2-liter bottles of Dr. Pepper on my desk.
Oh, man, I want Dr. Pepper now.
Dr. Pepper is so good, though.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I actually just haven't had soda in a while, so now I'm craving. But I'm going to talk to Temmie, you said? Or
yeah, Temmie.
Yeah, Temmie. So, yeah, because he's just commenting, and I guess I should mention, if you're listening in, Temmie, I have a link to the Discord server. Feel free to join us if you're on Discord.
Yeah, it's down in the description.
Yeah, it's in the description.
I mean, I know Temmie because they're in one of the chats I linked, but I'll link this too. But,
awesome.
Yeah, okay, so I can go ahead and explain tripartite if you will allow me.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
So, getting myself settled in. Tripartite is basically so if you're aware of what ergativity is, it's basically the subject of a transitive sentence, the subject of an intransitive sentence is treated in the same way that the object is. So it's me eat, I eat him, kind of. Yeah, so rather than having two noun cases for those pronouns, you get 3, 1 for each of them. Yes, the agent of a transitive verb takes the ergative case, the object of the transitive verb takes the accusative case, yeah, and then the single argument of the intransitive verb takes the intransitive case. Also, I've sometimes seen it as something else. I don't fucking know. Absolutive, yeah. Yeah, it is, but also, I feel like on one hand it's more descriptive, but on the other it feels too cold and scientific. Like just flat out calling it the intransitive case. It's no fun.
I suppose I muted myself. Oops, on the stream. But yeah, I will rename the absolutive to intransitive. But yeah, I just like to keep my descriptions as human readable or as layman readable as possible. Just because if somebody wants to get into calling, there's better choice of vocabulary sometimes. Mm-hmm. I also consider a split S type system or even an Austronesian system, but I do like ergativity or ergativity where there's semantic motivation for certain things. For example,
okay. Sorry, you go.
Yeah. For example, if you say died him, this is one common thing that happens in languages. You say died him, it can show sometimes more it can be kind of a euphemistic way of saying things than to say he died.
Oh, one sec. Could I take over for this?
Sure, yeah.
Because I also have in the same conlang that I'm doing the andative and infinitive stuff, I'm also doing fluid S alignment, where it's like ergativity, but like it uses both nominativity, accusativity, and ergativity. And so one thing I have to collect my thoughts and like think about what I'll say. So it's all about what you can use either pronoun for the intransitive subject, the single argument of the intransitive verb. You can use ergative or you can use absolutive or nominative. Yeah. So if you were to use the nominative, it's more like you are the one doing the thing. Whereas if you use absolutive, it's more like it's being done to you. So it shows a degree of volition.
Yeah.
So like if I fell, oh, I meant to do that. Fell I was like tripped or something. I didn't want to fall.
Yeah, or I guess there can also be like for example, like you have different arguments. For example, if you have the man arrived, meaning the man walked to your door, versus the arrived the package, meaning the package didn't walk to your door, somebody brought it there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have different semantic motivations. A lot of languages won't have they'll have like partial semantic motivation, but not complete semantic motivation. Like for example, maybe certain nouns will necessarily take the absolutive, or others will take the nominative depending on what noun it is, or depending on what verb it is, even.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just this verb uses this case. And personally, I'm not the biggest fan of that being baked into it, so I like going with fluidas because I just feel I like it better, man. It's better.
Yeah, no, I mean, semantic criteria can always be like really nice to include. I personally like having semantic criteria that aren't perfect. Like that there's always that one really annoying exception that you can't like, or
oh yeah,
like just have fun with that.
Because exceptions are natural.
Yeah. No, I mean, especially with semantics, you can be really kind of liberal with how you want to include the exceptions. But I guess what I'm interested in is like describing, I guess, adposition, since I have that here. Because I know case endings, for example, will be like, I guess I can try to make a table here and see what I can do, but probably like let's see, since I have 5 cases, and I guess maybe I will have that be called the ablative case, but I'll have some sort of adposition that describes how it behaves, and I will take that from Temmie's feedback. But yeah, where is it? I'm going to create some sort of table with the different classes.
Wait, why'd you take genitive out?
I had like an oblique case, but the thing is, I'm going to have like basically each of the cases is going to take on multiple rules. Like I'll have like a genitive, ablative thing. So I'm refining it as is. It's kind of not set in stone yet. But
yeah, that's fair.
I will have, here that should work. So I'll have class, and I want to use Roman numerals for these, just because where is that? I want to make that into is there a I'll deal with that later, but I'll have like class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have different classes, and we have I'll just actually just label them intransitive. I guess I don't even know if these are abbreviations. I'm just pulling these off the top of my head. I don't know if the intransitive one is correct. Accusative, dative, and ablative. And I'm thinking like for some of the, especially like certain similar classes, there might be some sort of mergers. For example, like some of the cases, like the intransitive case might be the same among different groups, and I guess maybe even just some case syncretism. That's always a good thing to have. But I'm also thinking in terms of, so do you mess with non-morphology?
Non what now?
non-concatenative morphology. So basically, things that aren't prefixing and suffixing and infixing. I guess maybe I think that counts.
One sec. Sorry, can you repeat that? You cut out a bit on my end.
Okay, so like you know how like you can like for example like in Russian like you have just suffixes that describe case endings, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess in other languages there might be different non-concatenative, so no prefixes or suffixes. Rather, for example, there's vowel alternations, or there's.
I have not.
Yeah.
But I'd like to at some point.
Yeah, I know because I think that's one of the big things with like commonly is like non-concatenative morphology doesn't get enough attention, and it should because it's really common. Kind of like reduplication, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Though reduplication isn't necessarily non-concatenative. It's just nobody uses reduplication when it really should be used. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of what is it? I guess I'm trying to think if any of these cases should be unmarked. Actually, one thing I'll do is for 1 and 2, I will actually. So you know how I mentioned semantic criteria for like the split S type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That like, for example, you would say like the man arrived, but you would say arrived the package. I'm going to actually put this into play here. So one thing I will do is I will merge these two, and basically the ergative and intransitive of class 1 and 2, the humans, is going to be the same.
Okay.
Which makes sense because it's going to be like, you know, the man arrived at my house versus the man arrived, etc. That kind of stuff is going to be, or because it's done by a sentient being. Though I guess class 3 and 4, or sorry, class 4 might be interesting because there's transient natural phenomena and sentient and supernatural entities. I might change that. I don't know. I mean, I think that's kind of the more I think about it, the weirder it is. But at the same time, it's not that weird. I guess there's like I think this system might not be able to be organized nicely in an animacy hierarchy. And you know what, I can probably have some syncretism or some. It would probably actually, the way that I'm working on it, might end up being more of a split S system for certain things, but
I'm talking with someone in DMs on Telegram, and they asked what I'm doing, and I said, "Oh, I'm streaming right now. I'd link you, but it's linguistic stuff, and we're using terms like non-concatenating morphology."
Yeah, scare the normies away.
Oh, please! I love just like I love being able to throw around these long ass terms. Like non-concatenating morphology. That I used to use morphosyntactic alignment for that for my big long phrase for stuff like that, but non-concatenating morphology is slightly more interesting and easier to explain, I feel.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also longer.
Yes, non-concatenating.
Oh god.
Morphology is a great term.
Okay. Whoops. As I should have expected, whipping out the asterisks.
Well, hold on a sec. Sorry. I'm just trying to get this thing formatted here.
Oh god, I just thought of the word thing.
Wait, what happened?
I just thought of...
I are confused.
I have to figure out how to word this.
I'm tempted. I'm waiting to hear.
Okay, so... Okay, making a noun making a verb into a noun is called a gerund, right? Is that what I'm saying?
Gerund, yeah.
What's the reverse of that? Making a noun into a verb. Can you do that?
Yeah, of course you can do that. I just forgot what the term is called.
Circumfix. There we go.
Oh shoot, I need to do some circumfixing as well as infixing, of course. But yeah, circumfixing is really actually like it's more common than we give it credit.
Okay, so I have an awful conlang idea. Not just a bad conlang idea, an awful conlang idea.
Okay,
So,
I might use it.
no, it's bad, and also it uses it uses something that I don't think would normally be in a conlang's spelling. And so you can turn a noun into a verb by using a circumfix, and the things on either side of the circumfix are asterisks.
Oh my god. That's amazing. Oh my god, that's terrible. I love it. I would include it if it wasn't for the fact that I'm working on a naturalistic language, and that probably wouldn't be like a huge.
And it's also fucking awful.
Yes, it's also horrible, but I love it.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I'm just trying to think if you remember the phonology and stuff. I'm trying to think of what I should include as my endings. Here's the thing. I need some phonotactic stuff. I just realized I forgot, like,
Oh, wait, one sec. I put it into Discord and forgot that asterisks can make it automatically italicized, so I had to go in and put the monospace thing on.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm laughing way too hard at that. Oh my god. Oh shit! When I eventually make when I eventually actually start making my main conlang Sakhalin, when I actually like start doing a lot of work on it, I'm gonna have to figure out some cool stuff to do with McFucking body parts, because speakers are non-human. So
I remember this. Having a facio manual click was the best phoneme.
Oh yes. Wait.
No, actually, so
wait. Let me get really close to the mic for this. One sec. Or was that audible? One sec.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, yeah, it was audible on the stream. Okay, we're good.
Okay, yeah. No,
I have the audio on the stream muted, and I turned it on just in time to hear me make the facio manual click.
Yes, but I don't know. K-pop was like the best. It's like the best calling I've ever seen. God, thank you, Conlang Critic, for showing that glorious. I mean, that dethrones Esperanto is the best conlang ever made.
Oh, one sec. Temmie didn't hear the facio manual click. Okay, here we go. Let me take off one of my headphones on the side I'm going to do it on. There we go. The facio manual click. Okay, now this is epic.
Yes. Oh, good. Oh, and hi, Temmie. I just realized that there's a bit of a delay between the stream and us talking. So.
Well, Temmie joined the Discord, so they're in the call now.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. And I guess I don't know if you want to talk or not, but you can definitely unmute yourself and just join in. So.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Feel free.
Yeah. Yeah. I just realized I didn't work on syllable phonotactics.
You have to work on what now?
Syllable phonotactics. Like, what's the syllable structure? How does that work?
Oh, okay. Do whatever feels right to you.
Yeah. No, actually, what I like doing when I do like syllable phonotactics is to come up with some roots and see what patterns they like originate from them.
Right. My go-to syllable structure for at least for Sakhalin is consonant, vowel, and then anything but a stop.
Okay, yeah. So
'Cause
consonant
I
vowel.
hate word final stops. I hate syllable final stops.
Oh, okay.
Ass.
Okay, I actually kind of like them, but then again, I
Yeah,
have kind of.
I'm biased because I hate them.
Yeah, yeah. No, actually, I'm gonna kind of do something a little crazy here. So I know what the syllable initial phonetic tactics are, and I guess like so the rule is that the first consonant is going to be a well you have a fricative then any consonant. So you have like F C, I guess, and I'm gonna this is a really basic thing. So it's gonna be like for example like here I have Stiege as one of the roots.
Stiege.
That's like it's gonna be like for example that'll go there, but you can also have for example any sort of like any other fricative. Though I'm gonna actually do something crazy later on, and basically I'm gonna pull a Celtic. You know how Celtic deleted P word initially everywhere? Yeah. I'm gonna do the same but with F, which I think is even
nice.
I think it's even more reasonable, honestly.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I definitely see F a lot less than P, but P is also a very, very, very common gap that you'll see in languages.
Oh yeah. Oh hi. Sinwell, if you want to join, I hope that I pronounced that right. If you want to join in and talk with us, definitely feel free.
Yeah.
I have no idea what.
Feel free to add to the conversation, yo.
Yeah. So I guess what am I looking at? So yeah, what I was going to say is the syllable phonotactics is so we have a fricative, and it can be any fricative really, including the lateral fricative, consonant, and then vowel, and vowel can be. I guess.
All I'm imagining is a lateral fricative followed by like the adjective alveolar affricate. So
yeah, and actually I just realized
oh my god, it's hard to do.
Yeah,
now that we're talking about how hard it is to, you have to put it in the language.
Yeah, no, I'm really tempted because I'm going really basic here, and I realize that's not something that I may like. I might limit that. Like, I may say that like I might include that as like a disallow what is it? Fricative plus yeah, God. And by the way, for everyone who's watching, like I'm running this stream absolutely horribly. I've never really streamed before, so like sorry for like not getting to you on time or stuff like that. But yeah.
There are 3 people watching right now.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Which is an absolute miracle.
Yeah, but there's also 3 people other than you in the call.
Yeah, that's
nice. Because like the people are in the call, so it's still nice because like, hey, we have people. That's cool.
Yeah, I guess what is it? Just saying, I might end up removing the streamer role at some point if you like people can't like actually like join in the calls, but I mean that's fine if you're able to join in the calls in the future. Like let me know. At this point, I really don't care who gets a streamer role. It's just like I just want someone to talk with.
That's valid.
Yeah. There is disallowed fricative plus adjective affricate. And I think fricative plus fricative shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, that's fair. Followed by like fucking X. Oh god, that's why am I doing this to myself? Yeah, so no fricative.
Yeah, actually, I will include just a general note that like sonority hierarchy is followed.
Alright. Oh, and if the first fricative is rounded, so qua or gua, then have it be that the following consonant, if it is also velar, will also be labiovelar.
Okay, yeah.
So you can't have like you would have hua.
Yeah, I will actually. That could be like a what do you call it? I guess that I mean that's definitely something that like it has to happen. That's like I really can't see like it's inevitable. I find that very difficult to find. But I also want to make a rule that basically voiced stops can't or voiced fricatives cannot follow or cannot precede voiceless stops. I mean that's just kind of well, ejectives would be an exception, I think, but or maybe even not. But I don't know. I'm still thinking of. Let me just ask.
Are you guys talking about clusters in general or on sets?
Oh, hi there.
Onsets.
Yeah, we're talking about onset clusters. You can have just two constants in them, but I'm trying to figure out what exactly are going to be the ones that are allowed.
Okay.
A friend of mine just said in another chat I'm in all caps, Borat voice my wife. Which, hey thought, Drake voice but high pitch.
Let me see. So, sonority hierarchy is followed, I guess. Well, that's just a very broad statement. I mean, but then again, it prevents things happening like nka or something like that. I don't know. It's just like kind of, it's just there. Is syllable onset. So I guess those.
Oh, talking about consonant clusters, my friend just spelled possum as PASM as a joke. Possum. And yeah, that's pretty much the IPA I use for it, possum.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, I guess
No, part of me kind of wants to just talk general linguistic stuff in general and just start going on a rant about inland north.
Inland north?
Inland Northern American English.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
My dialect.
Yeah, you have like the Northern Cities vowel shift. I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
NCVS.
And what?
NCVS.
Oh, okay,
Northern
NCVS.
Cities vowel shift. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said you had like a second vowel shift going on. And I mean, I have CVS, the California vowel shift. So actually,
I know like nothing about Californian English, I feel.
So one thing I learned, and I think this is actually really important because we don't discuss this very commonly in our phonetics classes. So I plotted my vowels in Prot, and at some point in the future, I might show you what that vowel plot is. And I tried.
I'd really like to. Sorry. Quick tangent. I really need to re-download Prot so I can do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
So I can accurately look at that shit.
Yeah, I actually plotted my vowel space and I'll set that up later, but right now I only have one monitor. But yes, I plotted so basically I was really interested in the value of my schwa and the value of the vowel and look, right? And it turns out that the vowel and look, the turned omega for me. Sorry?
Horseshoe.
Yeah, horseshoe. Yeah, the horseshoe vowel. For me, that's a schwa. Like it's lowered to a schwa and it's centralized. Like it's
look.
Yeah, I think this actually might be true for a lot more speakers, and probably even true for you as well. But I think that's something that because people talk about the IPA in a way that's kind of like the vowels have all kind of moved downwards and have moved downwards and more forward, which is kind of something that I think when we teach students about IPA needs to be discussed more often. It's like, that our vowels vary a lot and that we can't just use the same descriptions. Also, O for me is a triphthong, which is a little crazy.
I do. I'm fuck. I keep getting distracted. I'm trying to fucking. God, it's getting. There are just some points where I just have an immensely hard time, like, fuck. Speak hard. Me do speak with much hard.
Yes. Oh my god, I'm looking at my stream quality. It looks like it's terrible. Or
Yeah,
maybe.
it really is.
Let me see.
I
Oh,
hate to be a dick, but yeah, it kind of is.
okay, yeah. No, actually, I'm just looking at it and I changed it. I saw that my stream was set to 144p for some reason. And yeah, I went to 720p and I just watched myself for a second. But yeah, I'm going back. Yeah. So I will say, so back for just a whole syllable onset thing, because we kind of just got distracted there. So I'm thinking if there's only one consonant in a syllable onset, it can be any consonant, I'm going to say. I don't see anywhere where I should restrict them. It's probably fine, so yeah. Onset has one consonant. Okay. And I guess Temmie says I'm a like consonant fricative vowel is a bit easier. And in a way, like I'll explain my rationale for fricative consonant vowel. So for example, put a nasal for consonant. Like you have like let's say you have like N plus S plus E. That's not going to be easy to pronounce. And there's also phenomena, for example, and actually I'm thinking of like I don't know how, because again I'm not like a trained linguist or anything, but like in Proto-Indo-European, there's the S mobile phenomena, which like you'll find some roots in Proto-Indo-European which are like that they begin with an S, and in other languages and then in other languages their reflexes turn out not to have them.
S-Mobile, not to be confused with T-Mobile, the phone service.
Yes, which is the service I use. This stream is not brought to you by T-Mobile, unfortunately. Please sponsor me. I need income.
But if you wanted to go for clusters like in C, it's attested in African languages, but those usually also have like prenasalized stops.
Yeah, that's where they...
Yeah, which is why I don't have prenasalized stops, which is why I'm hesitant to include that. I guess it is possible, but I already had like some specific ideas about the phonotactics coming in, and I'm just trying...
Wait, I've got the king of consonant clusters pulled up right now.
I'm holding.
Niv.
Oh, Niv, the Siberian language?
Not necessarily Siberian. It's like, adjacent to Sakhalin.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Isn't it an isolate?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's.
And if I recall correctly, something happened in its history that made it like get really fucking weird. Consonant clusters. So you get punk, which is soup, p, schwa, or actually it's supposed to be ram's horn. Excuse me. Ram's horns. So punk, and then duck soup is panraivang. Kind of seal soup is Jesus Christ. Amspvang, and then bear soup is Jesus fucking Christ, this is awful. Tchufpunk. So AMSPV.
Yeah, that's more. I'm not gonna go for more than like I guess like for onsets. There's not gonna be any more than 2 initial consonants. They're gonna be relatively simple. I might do a crazier kind of cluster thing in another language I'm going to work on in the future. I don't know. Well, this is just speculative. I don't have any other projects in mind, just this one right now. Okay, so if the onset has one consonant, any of them are allowed, so okay. So, if the onset has so if it has 2 consonants, then the first must be a... I actually want to say a voiceless fricative. With allophonic variation.
Ooh, allophony, that's awesome.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that there's no distinction between voiced and voiceless fricatives before a consonant, at least in the syllable onset. It just depends on the following consonant. So it's just anticipatory and syllabation. So if you have S plus T, that's gonna be st, and then if you have S plus D, that's gonna be zd, and etc. Kind of like stuff like that. So must be a fricative. Or I can the first must be a fricative, and I think this is gonna be a nice way of saying it, which is not defined. Depends on the and I'm gonna just tab these in. So fricative plus adjective, fricative disallowed, fricative plus fricative is disallowed. Let me see.
Bus.
And
bus.
Oh yeah, if you have things in language, let me know. Like if you have any ideas. I really like thinking of like, especially having, again, one of the problems with like new common languages is they put like one-to-one, like this word means blue, this word means apple, this word means etc. and don't have things that are either more specific or less specific, or even just homonyms of any kind. So yeah, fricative plus adjective affixes is disallowed. Fricative plus fricative is disallowed. I'm thinking what else. And I will include the rule that you stated. That, what's the rule? And yeah, I'm sorry. I just I had to explain some Formula 1 stuff to a friend. Fricative plus, so if the first consonant is a regular fricative, or I guess this could be described as like as a phonological rule, but I'll describe it here and then probably rearrange it later. So the first consonant is a velar, second is a velar kind than the initial. What's this? Okay, yeah. So I guess that can be described as a rule later on, but like there's going to be no distinction basically between like if there's a root with the form, and I'll just type this out. I'll just create a new root. I'll use this to. So let's include let me insert below, like if you have like who. And insert above, and you have like var cube, and I guess I will create some similar sounding roots just because I think that's fun. But like that, if you have or there we go, you have these two roots right here that are like cube and cube. There would be no like. There would be a process that eliminates that rounding immediately, and it would never be there. But actually, I think that's probably. I'm gonna include that there. I'm gonna make that root delete. Or delete the entire row. Thank you. And yeah, no, I think I'm gonna use that for the description. But I'm thinking of like, I guess. I really think like syllable phonotactics are kind of difficult to deal with sometimes, but I don't know. I'm actually thinking of going the opposite of what you say, Alvaro, just because like I see you don't like having stops at the ends of words or stop codas. Mm-hmm. I might only allow stop codas. I've seen for a while.
Oh my god.
Well, actually, I don't know. Have you ever delved into optimality theory by any chance?
Yeah. Oh my god.
What is that? I have no idea.
I study linguistics in Leipzig, and it's all optimality theory. Like, I doubt there's a place on this earth where more optimality theory is done, except maybe where Prince, Smolensky, or Kaparsky are.
Huh.
Like, I love it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, because the thing is, I've never personally used optimality theory, but it can be useful in certain it can be actually really useful in certain things. For example, in register tone systems, it's probably easiest to use some sort of optimality system to describe what tones are and where they'll end up being.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you say you're not familiar with Aro?
I am not.
Okay, so basically, what optimality theory does is that you have basically in cinema. I'm just saying this off the top of my head, and I only covered this a long time ago, and I probably forgot most of it. So feel free to just step in and correct me. But basically, you have some sort of form, and like for example, think of I guess a good example for this is like cats or cat and cats. And what you'll notice is that in English there were a lot of different there are not a lot, but there are different ways that phonetically plurals are marked. But it had basically there's you can have an S ending, a Z ending, or an I where there's a vowel inserted.
Buses.
And basically what optimality theory does is it tries to generate the most optimal candidate that won't violate certain constraints. For example, you could generate bus plus S, but that's not very distinct, so it's thrown out. And you have different rules and different priorities for the rules, and that lets you find the candidate with the least violations, and you select the one with the least violations. That's a really iffy description. Unfortunately,
yeah, but that's basically it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, guys,
I think.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think the best part of it is the old approaches are rule-based, rule ordering phonology, and those can't explain a lot of stuff. And I don't have an example at the top of my head right now, but the thing with optimality theory is there's no rule which can't be broken. It's just a matter of ordering and ranking.
Yeah. So you can violate rules, just as long as you don't violate too many, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, guys, it looks like this will have to be the end of the stream. I am going to go and eat some nice grilled chicken, but nice. I will... thanks for joining me, for everyone who's joined me. Temmie, Sinuel, Avaro. I am going to end the stream now, but yeah, thanks to everyone. If you're watching and you haven't joined the server, please do. You just might be able to join in. But yeah, I'll see you guys around.